Welcome everybody to Catfish Weekly, along with Chad and Josh. I'm Lyle, and boys, Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Woohoo! This is my 65th season of Happy New Year's, man.
Really?
Lyle was there for the first year.
I was there for the first Catfish Weekly, and boys, this is starting of the 8th season.
That is awesome.
It is. In fact, I may have to recount because it may be the 9th, but 8th is good enough for me right now.
Well, you got to think about it, though. I mean, this one is the one that started them all.
Well, it kind of is. And Josh, I got to tell you, one of the things that impresses me the most with doing shows and stuff is how the improvements have came from where we started doing these when it took an hour to set the shows up and an hour to get everything posted back afterwards. And now it goes really, really quick. And the programming where they was charging for what we do now in programming, that program used to cost $800 and a yearly membership. And now it's free. I mean, holy crap. The improvements is gigantic. And I think a lot of the reason there wasn't more people on earlier was simply because they didn't want to do all the work and set it up. It was a pain in the ass. It really was.
So you tell me you don't want to go back to using Google Hangouts?
No, I do not ever want to use Google Hangouts again. They're horrible, man.
They're awful.
But it's what we had. It's what we had.
And he made it work. And he made it work.
Yeah, and I will never forget Chris and Chuck and I was going to, I don't know, maybe it was the second or third Monsters on the Ohio, and I wanted to do a live show down there at the little bait shop that Jim and Sheila run, and nobody thought you could do it. You can't do it. And I said, what's the difference doing it in a building where they sell tackle than doing it from the house? If you have a good internet connection, it should work.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris kept saying, I don't think it will. It's different because this and cause of that. And Chris is pretty sharp on that stuff. I said, I'm telling you, we're going to try it. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. And that was our first live event. And we've just not had near as many of them as we had Monday night shows. But we done a lot of live shows from around different places. And a lot of times we was doing 5 and 6 shows a day. And, that was a big deal. And I think that I don't want to take credit for something that I don't deserve, but I think that had a lot to do with people being able to go live now, where in those days you couldn't really do it. You'd not be able to go live out on a boat in those days because the programming wasn't set up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You think your cell phone service sucks now?
Think about it 10 years ago.
It was really bad then. It really was. Josh, you making sinkers?
I'm making sinkers again.
Is that building attached to your house?
No, it's off from the house.
Okay, I can't get away with that in my garage. It gets a smell.
No, it's one of those. It's a 12 by 16, one of those Amish built little sheds.
Nice. I have one of them out in my backyard, just full of stuff.
But it came just bare studs, and I drywalled it and did everything in here.
Looks awesome. Okay.
Lyle's is probably filled with nothing but jigs that he's tied in last year.
That's not true.
It's just all feathers. If the tornado ever hits it, the neighbors will think he had a chicken.
Oh, dude, I need to order some feathers. I'm really low on some. The last bunch I got was give to me, and I just about went through all of them. Chad, what do you say we welcome everybody into the show tonight?
Let's do it. Even though I'm not granted first, I was technically first, but I will give it up to Miss Chrissy Brown, who was the first in chat. Followed by, we'll skip over him because he don't count, and he knows who he is because he made the comment. We'll go with Chris Everett's next, Mr. Kenneth from Takedown Catfish, and Dale Hayslip, Catfish Viking, Mike Sampson, Jason Lamb, Catfish in Fresno. We got Uptown Chrissy Brown again, just because she's a member, and I like her more than the other person that said I don't count. We got Chris Everett. Do what? What'd you say, Josh?
I said we have avid fishermen in here tonight. Did you see?
I know,
him?
but he don't count because he said I don't count, so I wasn't going to say his name.
But he didn't say I didn't count, so I'm going to.
I'll I'll time you out too.
Here we go.
We got member Mark from Catfish and Crappie. Carolina Catfish. What's up, David? We got Mr. Fishing and Freedom. I'm scrolling down. We got Mr. Creole Catfishing, Big Wrench Catfishing. It just jumped on me. I hate when it does that. Mr. Parker Pursuits. QC Brian. Troy from Real and Virtual Outdoors. I'm scrolling. There's the sweet lady, Miss Christina Dunnigan. Nubby's Catfishing. And don't roll your eyes when I say that, Josh. I've seen that.
I did not roll my eyes.
We got Michelle from It's All Mine. Crappie Day Fish on. Oh, where are we at? Trying to find some new people here. Jeremy from Fin Seeker TV. He's made it in tonight. He caught a limited crappie in no time this morning.
He did too. He knocked him out quick.
Yeah, we got Matt from Want to Be Outdoors, who says I never say hi to him.
Oh, there
Goober
you go.
Time TV. What's up, Dan?
Dan and his wife had a really good video come out the other day, and I really enjoyed that.
I have not seen any videos from today.
Well,
Like I was fishing.
Well,
We got Crazy Cat Outdoors.
hi, Missy. There's Chris and Telly, or at least Chris.
I hope it's Telly.
Yeah.
We got Fishing with the Squirrel. Mr. Uncle Lou.
Let's see here.
Danny
Yeah,
Stone.
Hooks and Hammocks is going to be Mr. Chris.
Danny.
Mr. Tim Molina.
Joe Buck. Sean T.
Let's see.
Richard. QC Brian. What's
QC Brian. Saw another one in there. We got Takedown Catfishing.
Kenneth?
Yep. Donald Long and Melissa.
Chris Everett.
Joe Buck 66.
And there's
Dane Stone Outdoors.
we are really glad to see them all keep coming in.
I'm down to the bottom now.
Somebody I seen from overseas, I thought, but it was already gone. There's Newbie.
Let's see here.
Ooh. All right. I think
Get
we got it.
Kennedy in there.
Yep.
What was that?
Missy Kennedy.
Yes.
Yep. Lyle said Missy.
Mm-hmm.
There's small water charter just came in, and I think like I said, I think we've got them pretty much all.
I think we caught up there.
Good to see Lee Reed in here tonight. What a great guy he is. For those of you that don't know, he is the owner of Uncle Lou's Tackle.
Yep. I caught 3 fish on his poles today.
Well, there you go.
All right. Well, now I got a tournament result for everybody.
Well, let's hear it.
You can look these guys and find folks up. They run a tournament series every year right around the Cincinnati area. It's the Whisker City Catfish Club out of Tanner's Creek. They have a New Year's Day tournament every year. This year it's the Jerry Cochran Memorial Tournament. 23 boats battled it out. The top 5, we got Willie and Stacy Smith with 57.9 pounds.
Willie is a fishing machine.
Willie is an amazing fisherman. Don Elder Jr. with 60.1 pounds. Chris DeBush and Terry Holting, 60.9. Ricky Freeman and Jack Woodall, 63.5 at second place. And first place we had with Big Fish as well, Michael Brock and Adam Denner, 99.2 pound total with a Big Fish of 37.9.
There you go. Great tournament results.
It's a very nice tournament. It's a memorial tournament, and the ones that I've taken part of, they do raffles and all kinds of stuff, and every bit of the money that is won at the end ends up getting donated back.
That's kind of the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's not always, and it's not bad if you don't do that. But if you care about the organization or the cause that you are trying to support, that's the correct way to do it.
Yep. It's a nice kickoff tournament to the year here. It's, every year, like I said, on New Year's, and it's a pretty decent sized tournament typically for a local club tournament. So,
yep, there you go. It's always great. I do have a memo that Mark is not doing a show tonight after we're done. Just to pass that out for those of you that are anxiously waiting with bated breath to watch Mark. He's tying jigs tonight and won't be doing a show. And he has some. I don't know if he wants me to say this or not, but I know he's got some issues, health issues with some family members, and keep those in your thoughts and prayers, please, because we're all getting older, so just think about the ones that's older yet, and they need the support that we can give them through whatever type of religious or thoughts that you can support them with. It all makes a difference. It really does.
positive vibes makes a lot of things better.
Makes me better. Makes me better. It was 70 degrees here today, fellas.
It made it up to 65 here.
70, Chad.
So we're supposed to be at 70 tomorrow. So
Yes, sir. There you go. You did get to go fishing. I seen you.
I did get to go fishing today, and
With Josh and his son, yeah. Or
Jason.
Jason and his son.
I was gonna say my son was with Mama today.
Yeah. But yeah, it was fun. It was good out there. A bunch of people watched you guys. So how many fish did you catch?
I caught 3. Together we caught 6 today, so
Very nice.
fun day.
Fun day. There's
a
Michelle.
little-
Did we say hello to her and fishing with squirrel?
Yeah, we said hello to Squirrel and Michelle, Melissa. I did not see Mr. Big Bill in here.
Small water chargers.
We got 61 people already in. Guys, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button. I know it's easy to forget that.
It is. Uncle Lou says they're getting freezing rain there. We're getting rain, but no freezing. It's still, it says heavy sleet soon. In the bottom of my,
Uncle
how
Lou,
can it be?
Lyle would love it if you would send some of that cold weather his way.
I have an emoji for you.
Uncle Lou, I love you like a brother, but keep that stuff up there.
Yeah, buddy. I don't need it.
Yeah, it's getting ready to turn back. We had 54 most of the day here. It was weird. We would get like really cold blast of wind, and then all of a sudden you'd feel from the same direction a nice warm wind.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
It's been weird the past couple of days. The weather's been acting all springy and acted like it didn't try to kill us last week. So
Yeah, it's going to be, it's 61 here now. It's going to be 60 tomorrow for a high. I can deal with that. It don't have to be 70. 60s will work.
I'd like to stay in the 60s year round.
that'd be great.
If I could find a place like that where it would stay in even the 50s and 60s, but 60s would be great year round. That is where I would like to live.
Well, good luck. Let us know if you ever find that.
If I do, you'll be the first ones to know.
Okay.
You and Doc will be more.
We all got to move to Tahiti. So
Is that 60 year round?
I'd say it's probably warm all year round.
I don't want that 90 stuff. 100.
Yeah, I don't want that. Have to take like paint thinner just to get your clothes off just to loosen it up.
Yeah, I don't need none of that, but I haven't found or even heard of a place like that. 50, 60, 70s year round. I've never.
Nah, I don't think you'd ever find exactly perfect all year round like that.
Can you imagine what the property value there would be worth?
Oh, you'd never afford it if you could.
That's exactly.
I can't afford what we got now.
Jason Lamb says, I'm a garbage man. I can't stand freezing temps. Buddy, you're in for some yet. I hate to tell you.
You ain't kidding. I know our garbage is out because our garbage runs on Fridays, and that Arctic blast hit us Friday morning. It was -8 all day. By the end of the day, negative 30. I think it was like negative 36-degree wind chill that day, and
Ugh.
a week later, it was literally 100-degree difference.
Yeah. Yeah. Small water charter says 60s and 70 in the dead of the winter there. Got to be Florida.
Yeah, I believe so. He's down there. Excuse me, near Okeechobee.
Yeah, that'd be okay.
Oh,
Chrissy
thank you,
Walker
Uptown Chrissy
feels
Brown.
water shirt today, and it was nice since I read chat for Jason and Chad. Also,
I didn't even notice that you had your Fields of Water shirt on.
yeah, that's what you get.
I was too busy catching more fish than J-Dog and Mason.
That nice weather, I will be up there working the week of the 16th, and I'd like to see some sunshine. I understand 100%, Paul, but I cannot promise you that.
What? I don't think I ever said anything like that there, Mark, but
Here we go. Crazy Cat Outdoors says, Uncle Lou, I assume he says I need a medium heavy orange before January 28th.
Oh, look at that.
let me see.
Paul
Yeah.
said, nature tried to kill us the other week in South Carolina. I can only imagine.
You see, Missy ordered one of those molds.
Which mold?
I think the jig mold, probably.
Well, yeah, but which one? There's 9 million of them.
We were talking about one the other night, and I slept since.
Yeah, we talked about a couple, I think.
I can't remember which one.
Is that the hammerhead mold? I'm not sure, but I might like to try one of them, but I'm afraid they'd be so heavy. I'm right now really gearing up for bluegill fishing in the spring, and I keep downsizing. I'm not sure I can go much smaller than what I did today.
That was a small one today.
I'm at 3/4 of an inch on a 1/64 ounce jig head, so that's total length of the entire thing, and that's
going to be a little bluegill getter, I think.
I hope you're right. I can't wait to try that out, and we'll talk about that Thursday night a little bit.
There you go. On the Panfish show.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, there we go. She said to do it mold 16th and 32nd.
Very good. I like Do It molds. There is a few other companies out there, but it's hard to beat a Do It now.
Do It makes good quality molds.
They do, and I noticed with you pouring, you're not wearing gloves. They have wooden handles on their molds for the most part. I usually wear welding gloves when I'm doing big weights, like for catfishing and stuff, because even the wood gets so hot you can't hardly hold on to them. But for jigs and stuff, I wondered if I've not ever cast any jigs, so I wonder if the molds would get that hot.
I've got one mold that I was trying to I tried to get 50 pours out of just right in a row, and I set the wood handles on fire.
Oh, wow.
I had to go and drill it out and put bigger screws in to get the handles to stay on. And
yeah, that might be a little much.
Yes, that was what I started noticing, that about 10 to 20 pours is all you're going to get.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Years ago, my brother and I used to pour together, and we would go, at a decent pace, but I would do the pouring and he would do the knocking the slag off of them when you mold them and stuff, and we'd put them out on a concrete floor or the ground with gravel to where we could find them and pick them up after they cooled off, and they cool off a lot faster that way if you put them on concrete and stuff. So,
oh yeah,
worked out really well, and then we'd split up what we done for the day, and he got a bunch and I got a bunch, and we had a good time shooting the bull.
I like to throw out there that Fishing with a Chad has been a member for 20 months and says Fields the Water is his hero.
Wow.
Buddy,
Imagine that.
I think the word of you as well.
I'm sure you do.
Yes, I'm talking to myself like that because I have multiple personalities.
Really? You're just
Yeah.
now finding that out?
He's just now admitting it.
I'm admitting it now.
Okay. All right.
Brian B's made it in. What's up, bud? Ooh.
Kevin Fishes, welcome. Glad to have you in chat tonight.
That's the truth. We did a New Year's Eve live, guys, on my channel, The Weekend Angler, and Brian B hung out with us in chat, but I think he was gun shy from New Year's Eve.
You think?
Before. He had a stalker come up there on screen and try to mess with him a little bit. We could not get Brian on the screen this year, so
maybe next.
Maybe next year. I was hoping Brian would jump in on us. So
yeah, that'd have been fun.
I tried to hang with you guys for a little bit, and I just couldn't do it.
Well, you had a long drive and a long day, and
yes, you did. But we're here tonight, and what are we going to talk about, fellas? What's coming up for this year?
I think more, ready. We titled it "Ready, Set, Let's Fish," and it's more of let's get into what we're going to do this year. What do we have goals? What's our actual goals for this year?
There you go.
Stuff like that. What are you going to do to prepare for, the year, stuff like that? Whatever you guys want to talk about. But, I guess maybe just start with overall goals.
Yeah, sounds good.
My number one goal is for Josh to come up here and go flathead fishing with me, so I can put him on a PB flathead.
I'm all for that, and that was my number one goal was a new PB flathead this year, so that works out pretty good.
Yeah.
So now you're stuck because you have to do that goal with me. So that because if you catch any other flathead without me, it don't count. So
there's really no downside to this. I get to go flathead fishing, and I get to hang out in a boat with Chad. That's going to be fun. There is not going to be a dull moment in that boat. It's almost going to have to be live because
Whisker Pig Fishing, welcome.
Hey, Kevin from Palmetto Cats is in here.
I'm sure that Dee's in there yelling at me right now. What do you mean you're going to take him flathead fishing, not me?
You and I can go flathead fishing, and Dee and Christina can go bluegill fishing. There we go.
Glad to see Lance in here and David Smith, Parker Pursuits.
I like that idea.
That would be a lot of fun. Yeah, you guys in a boat together would be awesome. Creole catfishing. LG Bass.
Actually, if Christina wants to come up as well, I'll take her bluegill fishing, and she will catch enough bluegill within 20 to 30 minutes. We'll give it an hour that she probably won't even ask you to go bluegill fishing for the next year.
Oh, wow. This is sounding better and better.
Wowzer. That's a lot.
Big Bill's like, you better not take them there. But anyway, we'll go and we'll catch a bunch of bluegill to take out and when it's warm and go flathead fishing one night. And I think it's a good blast. I think for me that is one big thing is all that message I just got. Really? Really?
They're looking for a 40-pounder or better.
I need
to that person that sent that message. I'm nothing but nice to you.
I need a double-digit flathead. That would make me a new PB. Mine is 9 and some change. So
well, we got plenty of them. They can beat that for you around here.
Chad, she said she ain't giving us bait. She says she's stocking the freezer.
Yeah, these are not monstrous by any means, but I think most people have seen the short that I put out with the bait cooler full of bluegill, and that was about not even a third of what we caught in probably an hour and a half.
You saw the ones I come up to Mendota with. I found a good spot in the springtime for them. So, she said that she's headed to Real Foot.
You guys can keep real. I've been on Real Foot once, and I don't know that I would ever go back.
I want to go back there.
I want to
I
go.
want to go.
there,
I want to go fish there. We've only been down. We went down there last February. We went to the crappie show down there at Grizzly Jig, and then kind of did this wild trail back where we went over, we drove around Reelfoot, then come up through Wickliffe, Kentucky, and everything, and came home.
Yeah. Well, and there may be other areas to launch at that would have made it better, but where we launched at, I was not impressed, to be honest with you. And yeah, that's just what it is.
I tell you what, I'd like to have a mud motor if I'm going to go down there.
That would be probably a great idea.
That would be the best thing you could ever have is a mud motor.
If you don't hit the
and a skid plate going all the way down your boat.
Well, that's true too.
That lake is not friendly to props, that's for sure.
No, it's not.
I put my 12-foot boat in Reelfoot last year. Ain't no way I'm putting my good boat in.
Oh yeah. No, that's like my good boat's fiberglass. It is not going in Reelfoot. I'll put the John boat in Reelfoot.
Well, we knew when we went down there to not keep the motor down. We were just going to troll around with the trolling motor, and so we got in. We launched it, kept the motor lifted out of the water, and you could not move 5 feet without hitting the stump somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Danny, let's make it happen, brother. Let's figure out a time.
Yeah. I put my boat in there. Just drop the trolling motor and troll around. Yep, sure would.
Reelfoot with Danny Stone. That's asking for fun there.
Oh my God. That's a fact. So is that all the goals you have for the year, Chadwick?
Did I even say any of mine other than getting Josh a
He
flathead?
wants to fish with me. That's his only goal. That's awesome.
I think I said last week that I do have a goal of a 25-pound plus channel cat.
Yeah.
And I'd like to break both my flathead and my
It's probably Chris Lee.
Let me message. My mother's trying to call me.
Okay, go ahead. Josh, I would like to tell you about my goals.
Go for it.
I want to get over the 29-pound mark for a channel cat. I want that 30 this year, no matter what.
I think you're probably going to a place that's got good potential for that.
Well, I hope so. I know they're there because I've seen people get them. Back in the day when we first started going there wasn't anybody that had ever reported turning a 30 in. But since then, there have been a lot of them caught, but not by me. So 29.9 is not that far away, but I want it. It can be.
He just needed to swallow one more shad before he bit yours. It would have done it.
That's right. That's exactly right. But that's one of them. Of course, we're going to get out more this year, and I want to do a lot more bluegill and crappie fishing. But I still want to do some tournaments with numbers because some of the lakes we got are just unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
Well, you've been over here, so yeah, I want to try to do some of that. But I'm not as worried about doing them because I get a lot of requests for certain types of videos, and we just haven't had things lined out in the last couple of years to do that. I want to try to make some of that happen for these guys that want to see them things, and it's fun to do. Oh,
yeah.
Try to get that done. And hey, Dave Scott, welcome.
Mendoza's going to be fun anyway this year because we've been talking. We've got something in the works that's going to be really, I think, will be.
It's going to be a blast. It is, and people are going to really enjoy it, and we'll have fun with it too.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be a hoot. But I would like to get out and do some meetings where people are going to be more than what we have in the past because we just haven't been able to, But a lot of that's going to be fun. If we have them 100-degree days like we had here a while back, you ain't going to see me. You ain't going to see me. I'm not going to do it. I don't have to. So,
it was the worst of both worlds. We had 103 days and $5 gallon gasoline. You don't go anywhere.
And then it was below zero for a week,
Yeah.
So it's it's been kind of tough, but it can't be that way all the time. It really
Look at that. First time watcher from Shelby, North Carolina, JG Hill Studio. Hey,
welcome, sir.
JG.
Welcome, JG
We
Hill.
are so glad to have you. Thanks a lot. What be your game plan to catch a 30-pound? Mine will be cut bluegill fishing underneath a bobber. That is to date, that's my favorite way to catch those big channel cat because it suspends your bait off of the muck and the mud at the bottom of where I fish.
Mm-hmm.
And when they take off, and you don't even have to wait till the bobber goes under. When it starts moving in an odd direction, just go ahead and reel her up. It's there. It's a lot of fun. So
now, Lyle, are you when you're fishing with those bobbers? Or I think I may have asked you this before, but are you using circle hooks or you go to J's whenever you're doing
I'm using circle hooks.
Really?
Yes, sir. Yep. And I have thought that I was using too big of circle hooks, but we really don't miss that many fish.
Mm-hmm.
Them channel cat can get an 8-aught circle hook in their mouth.
Especially the ones up there that size.
It could take a 10-aught hook. I mean, it'll come
It just
out.
blows my mind that they're able to, but they can. Yeah.
It'll come out through their eye, but they're mean. They'll take
You know what? I've caught a number of fish, blues channels, flatheads, that had poked out eyes. It doesn't seem to bother them. They're fat and sassy.
Oh yeah, they don't care.
I don't think it bothers them that bad. We don't have, in the places that I fish, we don't have a lot of clear water. If we did, I'd have a camera like Mark's got to take pictures of them down in the water because his camera does an awesome job. But I'm thinking unless they are right on top of that camera, I would never get an image that would be usable because even Lake Ozark and Truman are very stained most of the time. And Mark's got some clear water up there, and some of the images he's got are fantastic.
But that was one thing that impressed us the first year we were up in Wisconsin. But last year, that water wasn't nowhere near as clear until it was like the day after we had that big rain. That big rain cleared it out and brought some of the clarity back. But
I just don't think I could ever use one of them. Paul says, do you drag it or anchor? We anchor fish up in Mendota, or I do. Now, if I was fishing, if I was fishing Mendota Lake, I would probably be dragging or spinning. But where I'm at, I'm in 2-3 foot of water, and you can't drag in there really. You'd be hung up all the time.
Back there, you can't.
No, but
trust me, I tried.
I will explain this the best I can. Where I fish is the transition area just into Cherokee Lake, where the fish are coming out of Mendota, going through what would you call that? A canal through there? It's a very thin, low water level place for a 1.5 miles or 2 miles, where the water is really low, and you got to be careful going through there. And then it opens up into a lake that is 2, 3, 4 foot of water. And I catch them as they come through that. And when they come out of it, I'm sitting there waiting on them. And they all got to come through there. You just got to decide if when they come through, you want to be on the left side or the right side. and it changes not only yearly, but daily up there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If we sat at them places we'd been setting and the fish hadn't been biting, we'd have moved to maybe the other side or maybe straight out or whatever. We just went around till we found them, but each day they was still there. Wow. Yeah. It's really hard to leave biting.
The bay year to year was completely different. Last year versus the year before, where Josh will tell you, and I drug both years, and it was tough the first year, but we did it. We caught some fish, but nothing like we did last year because the growth, all the reef growth hadn't came in yet. So
right now, I will work too hard to try to beat my flathead and blue records. I'm happy with them.
I want to put Christina on a new PB channel cat this year. She got it. She got one the first year we were at Mendota, and then last year at Mendota, we had both kids up there. We were camping, and John wasn't really enjoying being on the boat, and it was 100 degrees, so it
That's hard to
wasn't
deal with.
wasn't safe for him to be out on the boat. And he's just a little guy. He wasn't even a year yet. So she got to go out one time the whole time we were up there at Mendota. So
yeah, that's not a whole lot of fun for her either.
no,
Paul?
we're going to make adjustments on that.
Yeah, Paul, I bet they were all sunburned. The old black channels, they're very dark.
Oh yeah,
Dark colored, and they got long black whiskers. They are the most beautiful channel cats I believe I've ever seen. And the size factor is 30 down. And up until last year, I would always tell people you're more likely to catch a 20 pounder than a 10 pounder. But we caught a few 8s and 10s last year before we did it. So I don't know what that means. Pardon me. I hope it doesn't mean that the locals have been taking a bunch of them out of there, because nobody up there, to my knowledge, really eats them much.
no.
But I know there's always going to be a few that does, but everybody that lives up there, the locals say nobody's eating them.
Yeah, not a lot of the locals up there targeting them.
No, they don't.
Not when you have a lake that's full of walleye and
They'll come when you're eating the carp out of that lake, I think, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some big carp.
There are some big carp. I caught a carp the first year. I was going around. I'd give up. I got so mad at that lake, I'd give up on trying to catch a catfish out of it the first day. And so I decided to go the easier route. I was going to get a fish. I went bass fishing the rest of the afternoon.
There you go.
And I hooked up on a lipless crankbait. I hooked up, and the fight was on. And I'm like, I've got something big. This fight was forever. And that thing come up, and it was a foul hooked common carp.
There you go.
And that was like, well, goodbye. See you later. There's Dieter Melhorn.
Welcome, Dieter. Glad to have you in chat, my friend.
There's Pontoon Jody's in here.
Jody?
I seen JG Hill caught their PB channel cat out of Lake Wiley years ago.
In 1979.
Yep.
That was a while back. I remember back that far.
I wasn't thought of in 1979, and neither was Chad.
I was not either. But that lake is where my PB flathead came from, and bees, and her PB blue.
I got married that year, so I can remember that.
Guerrero's in here.
No, I got married in 77, I guess.
Yeah, I was better get it right.
Well, it doesn't make any difference. It's been 46 years. I know that much. I think I had a baby in 79. Maybe that's what it was. It's been a long time. Yeah, monster carp, Jerry said.
Yeah, Jerry did have a huge carp up there at Mendota. That was right after one of the lives. He was bank fishing, throwing a jig around, and hooked a big old carp. Richard jumped in there trying to save it. It
doesn't really matter, I guess. It's not a panfish, it's not a catfish, but pound for pound, is there a harder fighting fish, especially in rivers where there's current, than an old common carp?
No, man.
They'll last forever, fight you harder than anything you ever caught, and you'll keep doing it.
You'll get them to the side of the boat, and they'll take one look at you and go, nope, I ain't done. And they'll take off, and the fight's on again. It's round two. But
yep.
But we are fortunate enough. We have some very, very high quality channel cat fisheries right here local to us. But Mendota, there's something about it's the people. It's the camaraderie that we have up there that makes that place special.
I agree. It's very special.
But we are gonna. I've been talking about it. A bunch of us met up this past weekend at Baldwin Lake, and Baldwin was being Baldwin that day. It didn't want to give up anything, but we got to talking. I'm going to keep an eye on things, and when the cats come up shallow at Wren Lake, I'm going to try to put something together, get a bunch over there, do it. It's going to be a boat. You can do it from the bank, but a boat's going to get you better results.
Yeah.
And Creole, that ain't no kidding.
That's a fact.
We'll try to put together a meet and greet type thing, little fishing thing up at Wren Lake. So.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time because Wren's got everything in it.
Brent's good. Brent's a world class crappie fishery. I mean the crappie masters and everybody visit it several times a year. So
Yeah, yep. That just goes to show that it's an awesome place. There's Jesse. Welcome, my friend. But yeah, that about is what I'm looking for as far as things to do this year, and try to keep improving our show as we do every year. We try. I don't know if we're doing it or not, but it seems to me like things are continually getting better with Catfish Weekly. So if we keep doing that, that'd be great.
Well, they're continuously getting better looking. I come back every week.
My God, Josh, there you go.
And I am getting just better looking with age, fellas.
Oh man.
Let's see. Yeah, there was a lot of flatheads caught out there, Paul, that year, and I do not believe that will be happening that I know of. But we will be doing. We're planning on a day or two trip out there before we come back home on our vacation, and we may have just a friendly get together if you want. But we'll be doing an online little shindig, if you will.
What, shindig?
Shindig.
Shindig. You don't know what
You know,
shindig?
that's what you all used to have back in the 70s when you used to go disco dancing.
No, he had hootenannies.
Oh, he had hootenannies.
I didn't do none of that.
I guarantee you loved at disco.
No.
Oh yeah.
Mm-mm.
Had him a powder blue leisure suit and everything.
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I had blue jeans. That's about as close to a leisure suit as I ever had. Now, Cindy, on the other hand, she's a dancer back in them days. Lots and lots. But not me.
Thanks, Kevin. I was with you all until now. I know what he's talking. It took me a minute to realize what he was talking about.
What is up with that?
See, I wasn't even going to go there a lot. That's why I'm your favorite.
I know.
Creole said that one time that the very first Catfish Weekly was scrawled on some wall of a cave somewhere. But
how would he know that? Is he old as me?
I think he watches the History Channel.
The history or the Flintstones?
I love it. I've actually been tying jigs lately. Every once in a while, I see a feather fly up out of it. I got a little fan here, keep this room just perfect. I see a little feather fly every once in a while, and I'm like, "What is that?"
I did have bell bottoms, and I used to have a lot of hair, but not any longer with either one.
Let's see here.
Did you rock a mullet?
No.
You never did?
You admit it. You and Dieter used to look like twins.
Dieter wishes he looked like me.
I had one a long time ago.
Dieter looked like me, thought like me. He'd never pick up another piece of chicken unless it was a hot wing.
Mark Barnum. Oh, wow.
Real the topless bar. I bet that is right. What do you guys got going on for the year then?
You know, I mean, no, other than our normal fishing tournaments and trying to figure out exact dates for all of those. Yeah, I love to travel if money and gas prices allow, but I definitely want to get out more.
No, Jerry, it did not. No, I did not, Jody.
What?
Jody's comment.
I don't know if that was directed at you or me there, Lyle. It might have been
either one. It doesn't matter.
I know that the other day at Baldwin, Dee was looking at Chad's beard and saying that that'd be good for tying jigs. So, but the last time I suggested Chad cut his beard, Dee like about strangled me. So
yeah, she come up out of there, didn't she? So, yeah, but we could take some of that off and be like a red squirrel tail, wouldn't it? I just need a little clump about that big around. Take it right out of the center with that white in it.
Awesome. Put one a 7-gallon bucket with it. It sounds like that'd be the way to go.
Yeah. Yep.
I've got a big 200-something gallon one I got to get rigged up. I was going to rig it up this past year, and it never happened. And
I got one right out here on my back patio that I need to get done too.
Do they stink?
No,
it's just old tote. There ain't nothing in it right now.
No, I mean when you get a big one in your neck, like Chad's on his back porch, back deck.
Mine's going in the garage. It's probably going to smell like a bait shop in there. But
I was thinking something else, but the bait shop will work.
Yeah, bait shop. I'm being nice. I don't come on your channel and say bad words like other people do on mine.
Sorry. Sometimes it just slips. A couple hairs is totally different than cutting the whole thing off. I just want to plug out of the center.
Kentucky Redneck Outdoors says, speaking of tails, it said my friend just gave me 6 squirrel tails and 10 raccoon tails to tie with.
Awesome.
Kentucky Redneck, do they want to be my friend too?
I know.
Let me know how them raccoon tails work.
Oh, man.
Talked with another guy, and we've talked about them, think that they would make awesome fur for them. And don't be afraid, in my opinion, don't be afraid to use the underlying fur for dubbing and stuff like that.
You see, Dave Scott said my 500-gallon froze up and killed all my bait, starting to stink, thawing out. Yeah, that's.
Oh, I'll bet it is too. Wow. Yeah, that 100 or that 10-degree below stuff that we had here a few weeks ago, that would be enough to freeze a lot of things solid if you had them. Now, if it was in your garage, it probably wouldn't, but you're going to have to deal with people smelling it in your house, and that, for me, that's just not going to work, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, an old freezer makes a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And then you keep. I don't see any reason you can't keep shad alive if you keep the water at a decent temperature.
Yeah, you got to keep it somewhat.
Maybe we'll take and do a show whenever I get all the stuff together to build the filter and everything for that bait tank. Maybe we'll do that one week on Catfish Weekly. We'll build that live.
Okay.
Get that filter put together and
send me the entire list of what is needed that you build. So I know what Dee needs to buy me, so I can get that one out there, so we can.
And who was it you had on a while back, Lyle, that was talking bait tanks? And I mean, he was a authority on bait tanks.
Oh man, who was that? Come on, chat, tell us who it was. We can't remember.
Somebody knows it in chat.
Yeah, got it.
Man, that was a good show.
I have a bait tank that I made in my boat that is a 10-gallon swimming pool chemical bucket with a screw-on lid. And the first thing we done with this was make a seat because it's really tall, being 10-gallon. And my brother made a cover for it and a padded seat on it. And we used it for deer hunting and turkey hunting with the kids. It was very comfortable. Had a 2-inch padded seat on it. And it had been sitting for years and years and years and years and hadn't been used. So I made a bait well out of it. It sets my boat originally had one in the front, one in the back, but they were so small you couldn't put anything in them without them dying. So I just hooked everything up to where the in and circulation and out is plumbed into the original plumbing on the boat. And it still has a screw in top. You can screw it on, screw it off, and it will run oxygenated water through there. It will fill up automatically. It will drain out automatically. It has an overflow on it, all that stuff. And I'll be using that this summer, and I'll show you guys how it works. But it's really cool. 10-gallon worked really well. I actually wanted a 30. I was supposed to get one from a guy. He quit making them or quit doing something or whatever. He won't answer my things. He was going to give it to me. I said, hey, I'll pay you for it. I just want it. And that was about 2.5 years ago, and I never heard anything more out of him. So screw him. I just built one more.
Looks like chat's telling us is David Martin or Kenneth from Takedown Catfishing. So I think either one of them would be a good choice to.
I think so.
I think he was saying hi to Kenneth.
Oh, okay.
David.
Yeah, David Martin, I know, did one, and the Big Nasty
Nasty did one. Okay.
one a long while.
Martin's pretty sharp. He really
Yeah.
is. Great guy.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
Mr. Kevin.
And real quick, while I'm thinking of it, guys, it's not going to be much longer, and the Golden Whisker Awards will be be presented there at Catfish Conference in Louisville this Wednesday night on Kevin's channel, Palmetto Cats. He's going to be talking Golden Whiskers. The voting is going to be opening up starting Wednesday. So,
All right.
And Josh, can you tell them how to go and fill out the nominations if they still have time to do that, or if it's over?
I believe that the time has expired on that one. That one was he changed it up this year. There is a committee, a nomination committee. So there was still a form that was a suggestion form, and the committee took everything under advisement. But the committee this year looked at everything and came up with it and made the nominations. And I've seen the nomination form. I think it looks really, really good. There's some excellent choices on there, and Wednesday it'll get turned over to everybody to start voting on there. So,
well, here's my thing. I think we need some more options of stuff that I can win. I think we need some stuff added, like best looking fisherman. That's the only way I'm not going to win this.
No.
What?
No.
I would win that. A lot of this other stuff, I'm probably not going to have a chance at. So
every one of them women will beat you. Every one of them.
Okay, now we're going to have to do some separation. We have to have best looking male angler. But then again, we can't put that one in there because I probably win it every year. So Kevin, just take it under consideration.
Sorry, Kevin, I did not know I was opening a can of worms here.
Yeah, neither did anybody else.
To anybody that is ever a part of the show, on the show, everything you say can and will be used against you in the court of Chad.
Oh yeah, there we go.
That's the
Ginger of the year. I probably wouldn't win that. That's probably good telling.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, Dee still, shines her little medal. Oh, we lost Josh. There he is. He's coming back.
I'm guessing.
There he is.
Yeah, we took a really close lightning strike, and it made things freak out for a second.
It'll happen.
I'm guessing.
But yeah, Dee still flashes her little award in my face all the time.
Kevin says it's okay. We'll only let Chad win once. I'm not sure that we should do that.
Kevin, I don't think that's a good idea, brother.
I don't either. We ain't never going to hear the end of it if you do that.
I'm thinking if we do a Ginger Ninja Award, I think Chad's probably a shoe-in on that one. So, Danny, I ain't touching that comment with 10-foot pole, but it's
me neither.
I will put it up for everyone to see, though.
Hold on. Let me start reeling him.
It only goes downhill.
Well, that might be Kevin.
Well.
I think that'll boost his ego enough. We're like, you're not wrong. Well, what else you guys got going on in 2023?
We've got some tournaments coming up. We'll start setting dates on those. I've got dates tentatively set for some stuff, so we'll be getting those set up in StreamYard once I get the thumbnails done and solidifying the dates. A couple different tournaments this year, some twists on things, and bringing back Tacticat back to a 2-day tournament because that's probably my most popular one. And we've got I'm adding on another weekly series. I'm going to it's gonna be a real quick jig tying video. It won't be a how-to. It will just be the jig tie, and it'll be narrated. I'll tell you what I'm using, so you can always go back, follow along, and build you one. But it's a nice thing about hand tying jigs. If they're like snowflakes, you never get two that are the same. So
that's true.
Put your own touch on it. That's why you tie jigs.
I'm pretty sure they will all work at some degree.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I tie a lot of them for bluegill because that's what I prefer to fish for in the panfish areas. But they'll catch crappie and they'll catch sunfish of all kinds. And yeah, you can't hardly build one that won't work. Just conditions have to be right. I try to do them so they are specific for certain kinds of
Mm-hmm.
weather or amounts of sunshine or a cloudy day. A lot of different things. But if you tip them with a fishing worm, you can't lose. Just that simple.
Amen, Paul.
Oh wow.
For face if the sport of the sport. That's okay.
JG Hill, there's a ton of us around. There's
Yep.
shows about every day of the week. There's a lot of people that do live fishing tournaments.
Yeah.
Still a lot of production videos too. So
So a lot of production videos as well.
always appreciate the support.
I have not talked Josh into being my official YouTube editor yet, as a Brotherhood of Catfish Weekly.
Yeah, have you not seen that? I don't have time to edit my own videos right now, so
Yeah.
I'm behind.
I get it.
I'm fighting with the computer. I need to order that. I think it's going to happen this week, but I'm still fighting with that old computer of mine, and it's just getting slower and slower when it comes to editing. So
I think that fishing videos are still more popular than live. I know there are people that argue that,
yeah.
but I can't hardly watch the lives because there's a bunch of people out there doing lives that should not be making fishing videos because they don't know a clue what they're talking about. And when I get to them, I just turn them off. So
I'll jump into lives.
Do a really good job. But
I jump into lives. I like, whoa, that was a bright lightning again. I enjoy hanging out, and, chatting and everything. And
Yeah.
Wow.
Careful there, boy.
I heard that one.
Did you hear that one?
It did.
That made
Josh is
me
going to walk back into the house here in a little bit and test out his new worm shocker.
Yeah, that scared me. I ain't scared nothing.
He's going to be the shocker.
I just think that the educational end of it is more in the promotional videos, and I think that people try harder to get correct information when they're live. If somebody asks them a question, they may give them a right answer. They may not even know the right answer.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them I just can't watch. I just can't do it. And a lot of them are going to TikTok, and I'm thrilled that they are because I don't watch no TikTok. That's where them guys ought to be, is over there away from the real people that care about what we're doing.
JG Hill, yep, so you were right on it there, brother. It's I build my own systems, and this was going to do a 13th gen Intel Core processor. Just come out a few months ago. I've got one heck of a build for my new editing machine. I'll have to post it on my channel whenever I get all the specs done on it. So,
the guy that built mine is basically a gaming computer that he put their stuff in it for editing and doing the show. And he started out with a Dell Precision T5500 that was used in a classroom where teachers took care of 30-some students at a time to make sure they would. He said that was the best one to build for what I was doing. And he told me the stuff to get. I went to Best Buy, bought it, and he put it in. And I have had zero problems going on 3 years.
I built the one that I'm using now. I do all custom build. I start out, I probably give it too much thought, which motherboard and which RAM processor, everything. And I built that computer in the fall of 2011. It's been upgraded a few times since then, but it is reached the point where it is no longer upgradable. So it's time for a new one.
There you go. Yeah. Well, like I say, that guy was a friend of my son's. He told me that if I would get the stuff, he would put it together. I did, and he did. And what he does is make make computers and repair computers for all the colleges in my area, which includes SMS and Drury and there's 6 or 7 colleges here in town, and he goes as far out as Pittsburgh, Kansas, repairing all them computers for them schools and stuff. So the guy's pretty much got it going on. When he tells you it'll do something, it pretty much does. But Jerry, that's not even funny. but yeah, it's worked flawlessly, and you know, anybody that's ever edited anything, you got a line, you put everything in there. I can just keep adding lines on that. Plumb down to the bottom, it doesn't even slow it down. I mean, it's amazing.
Everybody's checking out my big fan on my computer.
That is a big one.
That one's not even. That computer's not even a. I mean, I could use it, but that computer's set up as a server. That thing just.
That's what this one was. Mine was a server.
Yeah, this one has a bunch of hard drive space in it. It's connected to the network, and everything's mapped. So if I log on my laptop, as soon as I log in, I'm connected to the drives on that server, and we can stream movies from it to the TV and everything.
Oh, Creole, you're a mess.
Oh, somebody must have put an order into Santa.
Yeah.
Dave Scott says my phone's more advanced than the last computer I had. I got to tell you something, Dave. If I could use all of the stuff that's available on my phone, I would be as good as some of these other guys, but I don't want to. A phone for me is to say hello when somebody calls and to send them a picture if I want to show them what something looks like. Other than that, that's all my phone has to do. I don't care if it does all that other stuff. Whenever we go live or do something where I'm out in the garage, Chad and Josh and everybody has to tell me because I don't remember from one time to the next and don't want to for the other part.
Yeah, guys, we're usually like, if you notice those shows where he's in the garage, we usually get about a 5 to 10 minute late start. There's a reason for that. We're going, okay, now press this and turn this way.
Turn your phone.
When we go out and do a live in the boat, Cindy sets all that up. I don't do that.
We've got a question for Lyle there.
I'm thinking Power Pro braid. But
well, thank you, JG. It was nice for you.
Take care, buddy.
Thank you so much. We're here every Monday night.
Glad to have you with us.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure. We still got 74 in here, and we can go for a while if you guys got some more to talk about.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got first tournament getting ready to come up here in less than 2 weeks now. We've got the Winter Blues tournament coming up. It'll be 2 consecutive Saturdays on the 14th and then on the 21st. So looking forward to that one. We've got. I'm wondering if that's going to bring in the cold again. I think us going switching months back and forth every year like we've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it really ticked off Mother Nature, and that's why we got that massive Arctic blast. So I'm wondering what the next couple weeks
be in store for us in a couple weeks.
That's what I'm saying. I'm wondering what she's going to bring back for us here in a couple weeks. So
I hope it's nothing bad.
Let's see here. AccuWeather, Marion,
I know it's
Illinois.
supposed to pull back down after this. Trying to think Wednesday or Thursday. So we got that coming up. We got the Cooper River versus the Potomac this weekend.
Oh, wow.
What are you saying?
As of right now, and it's subject to change because we're a little bit out, but AccuWeather is showing for us on the 14th of January a high of 43 degrees that day.
That'd be a heat wave compared to what you guys have seen the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Let's see what it says. Wind from the northwest. Oh, gusting to 35 miles per hour. Okay, yeah. There's the
kicker. There's your kicker right there.
That's
that will make that river treacherous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Times like that, I'm kind of done with.
Yeah, we're still silly enough to get out there and do it.
I understand, and good for you, but I don't have to.
Yeah, Parker, we got a couple weeks for it to change. Yeah, Parker's right. He said it'd be negative 45.
No telling how many times it'll change to. We got some 30s coming up the end of this week, but it's going to only for a couple of days. It's going to be back up to 40s and 50s next week. Pretty much all week.
Give me
Well,
just
all
a
of a sudden, I
second.
can't hear you.
Why not?
There you go. That's better.
Yeah, you got real quiet for a second.
We could hear you, but it was going.
Malabi.
Well, it sound perfect now.
I think 40s, go down to 30s for 2 or 3 days here, and then we're going back up to one day in the 40s, and then all next week showing mid 50s.
See, we're showing
Pretty good.
by the weekend we'll be a high of like 40 for the foreseeable future, and I don't see us being able to hang out there too long. With that Arctic blast that we had, and then Creole and his superpowers of like Superman heat that he was like trying to push back towards us. He may have won, and we may not have that bad of a winter. We might have one huge blast and be about it, but we'll see. We still got about two and a half months, maybe even 3. So
yeah,
winter is just technically getting started. What, a week ago? So a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Danny, it let me pull it up. I took a screenshot. I'll message it to you. So,
what other tournaments you guys got coming up? I know Tacticat's coming up, but
Tacticat will be in the fall.
We got Winter Blues here coming up. Like I said,
Blues,
I think we're going to do the Fishathon here in April, and then
are you bringing back the bumping tournament this year?
We will be doing the bumping for biggins again, but I'll probably keep it around the same time, even though somebody's going to text me here in a little bit and start crying that I need to do it in August. But after his message he sent me earlier, he's going to do it in the end of May, early June, and like it.
Is that when you're doing it, May or June?
Last year we did it May 28th, so right around Memorial Day.
What? The reason June's always terrible because that's the right in a spawn for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we was trying to hit it right before spawn.
You'll be all right if you do that. Or
that's what we were trying to do, but then if not, we need to push it back. And there's a possibility we could do that, but I don't want to run it into like these droughts and stuff where rivers aren't moving.
That's unpredictable. Last year's was still.
You don't know. You really don't know.
So it may not ever happen again in our lifetime. It may happen 3 or 4 years in a row. There's just no way to know.
Exactly.
Mark said he'll be announcing his March Madness 1v1 dates starting next week.
He better hurry up, because if he don't hurry up, I'm going to take March too, because I'm the creator, I'm the OG, the king of tournaments, and when I say go, pal, you'll start paying your dues.
Is anybody going to limit the number of entries to where you have to draw out to get in?
Oh, the wheel.
That is
some of them I will. I'm going to be honest. I will on some of them because other than the couples tournament, I don't want to spend every weekend that I have tournament wise. That really starts. When you have a 9 to 5, 5 days a week, 6 days a week.
Yeah.
You're limited for family time and your own fishing time. So I'm not going to make this a full-time job anytime soon. So I need to make sure that we're keeping it balanced. And if that is a one-day tournament where it's eight contestants and I've got 20, we will go to the wheel.
Yep. We'll do the wheel on the Tacticat for sure.
That is that's a show in itself.
It is, and there's a benefit to being a channel member over at my channel, The Weekend Angler. That gets your name anytime we go to the wheel. If you're a channel member, your name is on there twice, so it doubles your chances of getting in. So
that's true, Michelle.
Oh, D said they'll be doing the ladies catfish rumble
Yep.
again this year, beginning of June.
I was getting there.
And where did Mark put his? I've seen it, but it's gone.
Yeah, that's the way we did it last year. We did the bumping for biggins, and then the following weekend, D and Nina ran the ladies catfish rumble, which was a blast.
It
To
was.
watch them. They did a
It was
great
fun to
job.
watch.
But I also want to sneak in. I didn't get to do it this past year, and I don't know why I didn't, but I want to bring back the Slab Masters tournament, maybe tweak it a little bit.
Won't you do that one in the spring?
Yeah.
If
We
we might,
crappie,
we might.
crappie and bluegill,
Like I
or
said,
both, or
Take that,
Yeah,
grab
we might bring it down to maybe a little, a few less varieties, but keep a couple options in there.
Yep.
huh.
I'd like to see that one go to numbers.
You still couldn't catch dockery.
I was close. I was within a couple fish.
Hey, you know what? In the great immortal words of Dom, it don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning. And, buddy, you came in second.
But he did gain great strides.
Now, maybe we will look at doing the Slab Masters tournament in say April or something like that. I've already got that's one of my vacation times too, and I'll be doing a lot of traveling with that. Maybe towards the end of April, we'll see what everybody else, because that's the other thing is everybody got so many tournaments. It's try to make sure we ain't kicking ourselves in the foot.
I know we're gonna try to do. We haven't done one in a couple of years, but Christina and I are going to try to do another husband-wife challenge. We had some ideas the other day for it. So
Bluegill fishing?
Well, sort of. It's one of them.
What she likes to do?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to help you out, buddy.
You're just trying to stir.
Me? How could you say that?
I know you do well.
You do. Yeah, you do know we have some fabulous bluegill and crappie fishing over here.
March Madness next week will be announced.
Well,
I'm
I'm with Kevin. At the end of April would be just awesome for
I think so.
a fish tournament.
Well, I mean, and you also have, like you talk about during the spawn,
Get in there.
that might be a good time to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
What?
Wow. That's not good. I hope he's all right.
Yeah, me too. I don't
Oh,
even have
wow.
but
I
I
don't-
think it's better
I
tournament.
don't follow football, but you don't want to hear about that either. So.
No, but I would prefer to see them beat the Chiefs.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll look, like I said, I'll look at everything and try to lay my year out where, like I said, I don't want everything bam, 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 bam.
Well, if you're not careful, Chad, what you'll be doing is you'll be doing tournaments all the time and narrating them.
And I'm not going to do
You're
that.
not going to be able to fish. And I've been there, and I understand how
Okay.
crappy a deal that is.
And now if I hit the lottery and I didn't have to work and I could go fishing Monday through Friday and run tournaments on the weekend, that'd be a different story.
Mm-hmm.
Big deal. Yeah, that's a major deal.
Yeah, I have to be able to help support my family, and I'm pretty limited,
Yep, that's horrible.
But we will be back, and I think we're going to, like I said, we're going to do it in September this year for the fourth annual Couples Catfish Showdown. Oh, there was a muscle cramps. I'm still getting muscle spasms.
From what?
I've been getting them for days.
Hey.
That's why I left the other night.
Drink pickle juice.
Yep.
I'll get some mustard before I drink pickle juice.
Either one. Pickle juice will stop it. But then you do as you want.
Pickle juice works.
It does.
Mm.
You
Well, I've been
surprised
switching and trying to drink a lot more water just the last couple
don't
of days.
taste as bad as you think.
I
it would.
find this very interesting.
I have a bobber tosser tournament coming up. Chad is the
Oh, I
sponsor.
misread that. I thought it said something else.
Oh, it said phone toss.
Yeah, boober toss.
Parker, keep it friendly.
Oh,
Our
You
team.
realize this will be the third annual Winter Blues, the third Winter Blues tournament.
yes, it will.
And that's a big deal. You know,
It is.
that's a popular tournament for a lot of people.
That's a fun tournament. That's a fun.
It is, but it's still since day one, since the very first one. It's one that, as I'm sitting here in my warm house, I still sit there and I freak out over you guys after the first year.
I remember
The weather can be very dangerous for people to. I want people to use common sense with
Rob
this one.
and Parker just like to froze to death.
So did Parker and Josh.
Rob ended up with frostbite.
Yeah, Rob ended up with frostbite. Stan 2 broke a rib.
Yeah.
For a while there, it was like I was the one making tournaments that people got like hurt in.
Your tournaments hurt people, Chad.
Hey, I like a challenging tournament, guys.
I agree.
But yeah, sorry. Now I'm gonna keep it for all that. I just gotta figure out all the dates.
Makes for interesting entertainment, and let's face it, a lot of what we do is that entertainment. So
That's all. Yeah, a lot of this what this is, trying to help people out and entertain them a little bit, get them off of other social media sites that's just downright depressing. And
let's see here.
definitely, I want to do some more fish. I want to try to up my number of fish this year. I don't know what I was up to last year, but I got a spreadsheet, and it was not very impressive to me. So it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great.
the whole year was just kind of screwed for me.
That's
okay.
I don't think it was a good fishing year.
This year is going to be the first year that I'm gonna try to make it a point to keep a log. And I know, Chrissy, we're gonna have to wrap you and Ernie both in bubble wrap.
That's a fact. I might agree with that.
Yeah.
Man, that's funny. I don't care.
All I can say is, yeah. I definitely want to do a lot more species fishing this year as well, too. I didn't get to go near crappie fishing as near as what I wanted. I'd love to go bluegill fishing more. And
I would like to add on to my goal for this year is a 1 pound bluegill.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
I'm pretty sure I caught one in the pond behind the house we had when we lived out in the country up home. It was the biggest bluegill I'd ever seen in my entire life, but I was catching bait. I was in a hurry, and I turned it back loose in that pond, never to be seen again by me anyhow. But it was an absolute giant, and I want to be able to say I really did catch one that big. A 1 pound bluegill that's a bucket list deal for me.
Heck yeah. Third year in a row, Chad has changed the rules for winter blues. And now you will have to have 100 pounds to count. That is not what you have to count.
Wow.
This year I just changed it to the biggest 3 fish for winter blues.
I like that one. I like that rule change.
I do too. I get so much, honestly, I love numbers, but at the same time I get so much feedback because of it. And
I love that comment right there, boys.
I think it's good. I think it's good to change it up every once in a while.
Oh man,
2022 pattern for me is scattered, smothered, and covered. I love that.
Me too. I love it. That's awesome.
Let me see here.
Oh yeah! Congratulations to Miss Robin C for her 17-pound first blue cat ever.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
That's a great fish. Great fish.
That's a good first blue.
It sure is. I remember catching a lot of them that was smaller than that before I caught one that size. But man, catching them is fun. Catching them in lakes is fun. Catching them in a river where there's a lot of currents, even more fun, in my opinion, because they know how to use that current to their
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, they do.
so,
I've got a couple things I'm wanting to try this year. I'm going to hold it back, leave a surprise factor, don't do no spoiler alerts, but I've got a few things I'm wanting to try some different techniques for catfishing on the river this year. And hopefully they work. And if they don't, well, then nobody.
You know what that means, Lyle?
what?
Josh is going to try to drag baits on the river.
Nope, that is not it. I promise you that.
I've done that.
I've done that too, and I ended up with 6 rods bent over like they were going to break, and lots of foul language coming across the.
Yeah, I get some of that going once in a while too. I've had them all turned up underneath the boat in a horseshoe before, but
Yep,
when it works,
it's part of it.
that is it. When it works good.
I think we dragged all of about 5 feet before that happened.
I tell you something that I've done, and people say you can't do it, and I use planer boards on the river.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And they work for me. They work for me.
I've
Yeah,
used them
yeah.
on the river, but I've used them from an anchor position and used them to strategically put baits
Yeah.
right where I wanted them.
Good for that. I've used them going up and down the river. I used to go up the river. They get them out to the side as far as you want to go.
Oh yeah,
It's really
Oh,
a
yeah.
good way of doing it.
That's mainly how I use mine.
Yep.
oops.
And I do like that, Josh, too, to be able to get them, especially in some current, to get them, because if not, all your freaking rods go right in the middle together. It's pointless. I love using them for that.
And then I'm exactly the opposite on the lake. I don't want them all that far. I want to concentrate my scent into a narrower path. If I have to make more paths, just moving over a little bit when I turn around and go the other way, we'll do that. But I don't want them way out on the lakes. I want them in closer to the boat. That way, if I'm marking those fish, I have a better chance of about what I'm doing. Make sense?
Yep.
Yes, it does.
Anyone who want to wash some dishes? No.
Nope.
No, I think I'll pass on that.
I'm pretty sure I will. In fact, I know for sure I will.
That's a video I started to make this year, and I want to.
That sounds like a real good job for Ernie.
Yeah, I think so too. JM Fishing, welcome.
Hey, Christian, welcome. I want to finish putting it together. I haven't filmed it all, but love show people how to deploy and drag bait. That way maybe Josh will understand what he's doing wrong on the river.
I'd be all for that.
I love dragging baits on the river. It depends on the situation on the rivers, but on the lakes is where I meant to say. I really like dragging them on the lakes.
I've gotten where I like dragging baits on a lake. I still, if you ask me my favorite thing to do on the river, it's still suspend drifting. Bumping's a close second, but it's just something. I mean, you can't take anything away from a bump and bite. You've got a cat that grabs that and tries to take that rod right out of your hand.
That's right.
But it is cool to see those suspend drift takedowns where that rod's already parallel to the surface of the water, and it's 6 guides in.
Yep, that's when you know you've hit the home run.
It's fun to watch.
Honestly, I think suspend drifting is more work than pulling boards. So
I don't know if it's any more work, but it's as much.
The reason I say that because keeping up with the depth changes in a lot of places is where your work comes out.
Yeah, but that's where line counter reels come in handy. All my suspend rods have line counter reels on them.
Yep.
And you have to calibrate those line counters or else they're worthless.
I agree.
I need to do a video on calibrating that.
That'd be a good one.
Neat little technique to do.
But you're right, Kevin. Pulling boards is a ton of work.
See, I mean, I love that. You know me. That's my favorite way to fish.
Yeah, I love it. I do too.
Other than getting snagged, when like what Josh said, that is a pain in the butt. But I don't find it all that hard.
If you're not getting snagged up once in a while, pulling baits, however you pull baits, you're probably not where the catfish are going to be.
Yeah, you're not in the prime condition. If you're not losing hardware, you're not where the big cats are going to be. But
I lose a lot of hardware. That's still okay.
There's definitely a frustration factor that you have to go for too. So.
That's right.
You're not wrong there.
Rocks or something, trees. They're going to be in some type of structure, and if it's structure, you're going to get hung up once in a while. That's just what it is.
That right there is when it gets annoying, especially when you can't break them loose and you have to, let that board go. I do not like the clips with the little nipple in it that you put the line behind, where you can't break the freaking things loose until you get them up to the tip of your pole. I can't stand that.
I want
my board to be able to pop.
Yeah, I've set mine where I can pop them loose and they turn around backwards and go back to the swivel, and I got them. Because if I break something, it's going to be a leader.
But that is part of the problem, though, when you have those and you do get those snags that they just won't pop off, even when you go back to them. That you either have to bring all your other lines in and go back to it. Huh?
I've never had them when they wouldn't pop off. I set them right at the edge and tighten them down, and then when I lay it on that thing, they always pop off.
No, I meant a snag that won't come out. Where you actually have to break off. And
60-pound leaders, I can break a 60-pound leader all day long.
Yeah, you use that crappy braid stuff that nobody likes.
Ain't nothing
They
wrong
may
with
not
it.
like, but it's the best money can buy. 832 Suffix. If you used it, you'll love it.
I have it on my bumping rack, but I'm not. That's it.
That's how I started with it, and it works so good anchor. And people say, oh, braid cuts the line. Mono will cut before that 832 Suffix will. I'm just telling you.
Here's a question: with dragging boards, if you break off a board, do you bring lines in, or do you go back later find the board?
Depends on if I'm on a small weight, I might go a little bit longer. But I guarantee you, with the boards that I have that are very near and dear to my heart, I will reel in every pole that I have and go get it, especially in the river, because the current starts washing them way further away from me than I like to have them. So
I will never leave one.
Everything comes in, and we'll
That's right.
it.
Every time I left one out there and went to go back and get it later, I could never find them. So I quit doing that. Dragging boards, if you break off, I go back and get them because I've lost them that way. I switched to heavy braid for dragging just so I could break the leader off before breaking the main line.
That's not a bad idea.
That's exactly right. And there's other good braid lines out there, but I'm telling you, I've been using that 832 Suffix for years and years and years.
And a lot of
it is by far the best I've ever had my hands on.
That right there is the best line that I think money can buy is Andy Monster.
I got to try.
I got that, and I am not impressed. I tried it, and I went right back to a whole bunch of other stuff.
I run Berkeley Big Game. There's something about being able to go to Walmart and grab it right off the shelf. I don't.
That is nice,
but I want it to be functional and work good.
Yeah. I agree, and exactly. And we had the discussion today. People were asking, Rustic was asking me what kind of leader material I use. I don't buy actual leader material. I buy Andy Monster
mono,
and that is what I use for my leaders. And there is a quality difference of when you're tying knots with certain lines. And I agree, Berkeley Big Game can be some of the toughest stuff you'll ever freaking try to break.
Yep.
But try to tie knots with it, and against a Andy Monster. Say if you're using the same diameter, say 30 or 40 pound, whatever, and try the difference. I can tie better knots with 80-pound Monster leader or regular line that I buy, buy a big spool of it for my leader, than I can with 30 or 40 pound big game.
Really?
There's a lot of places, though, Chad.
Well, I've seen that Andy that you mess with. That's real like slinky line. It's has no
nice.
memory.
There is no memory in it. You know, people. I've used the what's that, Eagle Claw and the offshore brands that you can get from that kind of stuff. It's so thick you can't tie knots with it hardly.
That stuff's good for backfill on reels. Is all that stuff's for. I buy that.
I would agree with you there.
I buy that Omni line. I'll buy a big old spool of that 17-pound Omni, and that's just I put a few on there for put a little bit on before I tie it onto the braid, and I just use it as backer. It's cheap.
I can see using it that.
I'll tell you the secret here.
You're not doing yourself any favor if you're using expensive mono as backer on your reel, because if you get to the backer, you got big problems anyway. So
you see this right here.
Slime, is it slime line?
It is slime line. It's
I agree that I like that. I like them, but I still don't think they're any monster.
No, they may not be. I use it. They sent me a couple spools of it years ago, and I'm still using it. I tried to use it on casting reels. The stretch on it is way too much for me. I could never break it if I got hung up. You could walk back and forth the boat, reel back up, and walk back and forth the boat again, and it still wouldn't break. It did not work. But for leader material,
oh yeah,
it runs out of stretch in the length of your leader, and I could snap it right off. It works perfect for me for that. Like I say, I didn't care for the monster. I tested it. It didn't break near where they said it was going to.
You know what? At the end of the day, you know what this means? Go with what you have confidence in.
I was getting ready to say.
Oh, yeah.
Go with what you have confidence, what you can afford.
I will tell you that
it's going to be personal preference.
We was fishing a big tournament, and a guy fished with us that had Andy Monster leader line. And I love that stuff. And I'll tell you why. It tied knots and held. They didn't come undone. It was extremely impressive, very pliable and easy to tie. But I don't know if it's very expensive or not. He had several rolls of it, and I was digging around looking for my stuff, and he said, "Here, try this," and I put it on, and I said, "I got to get some of that." Of course, I never have and should have. It's very impressive. If I ever think about it when I'm getting stuff, I will try to get some of that. But at this point, I'm down to one spool of the slime line until I run out of that, and that may last me forever. It works good and I like it because of the stretch for leader material, but I hated it for stretch.
Oh yeah,
on as main.
Suffix Superior is one. That's one I actually did use before I switched over to Andy Monster, and I really did like that line. But like Zell would just say, I think that seemed like it had a little bit more stretch than other stuff.
I did a test several years ago where I used big game and slime line and different kinds of braid to see what the breaking strength was. And I ended up taking the video down because I kept getting a lot of grief about it. Berkeley Big Game was the most spot on all of it. Really was. And that includes every major brand I could lay my hands on. There was some others that was really close, and you'd be surprised at some of them that was, and some of them that wasn't. But the amount of grief I caught over that video because you wasn't doing this right. Well, I'm going to tell you something. When you tie double loops in each end of it, and you put an electronic scale on one end, and it's tied to your Driftmaster rod holder on the other end, something's going to break. It's going to be the line. If they break at the knot, I understand that because that's probably supposed to be the weak spot. But when you get these big brand names that was breaking in the middle, don't cuss me because it's breaking in the middle. I didn't know that crap. And that was what I caught grief about. And I finally just took the video down. It was probably the most watched video I ever did because I'd done tons.
I would have taken it down.
Yeah, if you're testing line,
people are cussing you and stuff, and the next thing I want to do is drive down to their house and snatch them out of there and pound them in the ground. It ain't worth it to me.
But if you're testing line at all, I would throw out any figure.
I did. It just got so bad. I think some of it was coming in on false accounts or something, but it just kept on. It was amazing video.
To me, you would have to throw out anything that broke at the knot, because that's okay. Yeah. That's the point. For me, I would only, if I'm testing them, I'm only going to factor in the ones that break in the middle, because that's where you broke the line and not a pinch point on that.
Well, it got to the point where so many was breaking at snell knots. Every snell knot, didn't matter which one you use. I went to use the Palomar knot to stop them from breaking at a knot.
Mm-hmm.
And that stopped it.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't matter what kind it was, it stopped it. But yeah, there was some that you would expect to be up there, and there was some that shouldn't have been up there as breaking.
Yeah.
There was too much difference between what they was rated for and what they actually the breaking point was.
Oh, yeah.
And I sent some of them into these companies. This went on for about 7 or 8 months. They said, well, you're not testing it right. Okay, how do you test? Well, we have a machine. But in the end result, you're pulling on that line.
Yeah.
Measure when it breaks, just like I am.
Yeah. And let's be realistic. If you're going to test them and you want a scientific result, that line needs to soak in water for a long time before you do that test.
That's probably true. And I didn't know that.
Because it's going to affect the breaking point.
It probably would. Especially with braid.
Especially with braid. And that is, I mean, your line is going to be in the water. There's no way around that. If you're going to catch a fish, that line has to be in the water.
That's right. That's right. I've got a video that I hadn't seen in a long time that I'd actually forgot about, where we was testing a rod that I'd built for a guy, and we stood up on a ladder, and I threw 50-pound thing full of lead off the side of the with the hook onto that rod to make sure the rod wouldn't break. I promise you, there's not a fish in the world that'll slam a rod that hard. They just won't.
Oh wow! Buckeye Catfish said Bill's Bengals game suspended in the first quarter. Bill's defensive back collapsed and was given CPR for a long time on the field. Squad drove on the field. He was on respirator and ambulance. Yeah, that's not.
Oh wow,
that's not good.
Matt had mentioned that they'd done CPR on the field. That is,
that's not good. All right, fellas, what else we got to talk about tonight?
No, I think we got some good, good conversation, and
we had a lot of good, intelligent conversations tonight.
Yeah.
Well, you guys did. I'm just, hanging out. But I do think that we have a long way to go on a conversation on leader line and main line.
I think that could be a show in and itself.
I agree.
I'm glad that you guys are finally listening to my conversations and getting ideas.
There you go. Thank you so much.
You get him going, and it just has to. Oh, we froze him up. Chad vapor locked.
You and me might be the only ones that know what a vapor lock is, Creole, baby. Sunlight is hard on us.
Sunlight is hard on Mom. Sunlight's also hard on Chad.
What's that?
Said sunlight is also hard on Chad.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Guys, we've had a great show tonight. We really have.
And we've had a pretty good. We've been between 60 and about 75 all night. So
I think so, and that's a great number. We've had bigger numbers, we've had smaller numbers. So we just want to thank everybody for being a part of Catfish Weekly. Almost messed up, and we want you to come back every Monday night and be a part of our show. And one of the things that impressed me most of all, boys, is the fact that we are getting so much activity from what we're talking about in chat, and these people that watch this, they're up to speed. They know what's going on. And we're not trying to BS anybody. We just want it to be accurate
Yep.
and everybody understand that we're doing the best we can to give you correct information. And if you have something that's pertinent to it, put it in chat.
Yep.
We'll address it. And if we miss it, don't think we just skipped over you. Put it in there again, because we do miss stuff, believe it or not.
I'm gonna be the first to tell you, I am not afraid to tell you I don't know. Now I
No,
will go out and try to find you an answer. It may take me a week, but I will try to find you an answer. But I will not lie to you. I will tell you I don't know.
And believe it or not, I have a lot of people that I know that can get me correct answers if I need them on about any subject.
Marcus Schultz says spinning reels versus bait casters. For me, it depends on what I'm doing.
Yes.
In the boat, I want a bait caster. If I'm bait fishing, I want a spinning reel. Because what do you do when you're bait fishing? You're trying to throw all the way across to the other shore of the lake. You don't backlash with a spinning reel. What do you
backlash?
Not very often, but it still happens.
Yeah, well, I still do once in a while.
I did that today.
I wish I'd have seen that.
Yeah, anybody that says they never backlash is a liar.
That's right.
Or they don't use bait casting.
I just call it professional overruns. I don't call it.
But I agree with you, Josh. It depends on what I'm fishing for. If it's catfish, I'm 99% going to be using bait casters anyways. But spinning reels, I love for crappie and other targeted species like that, skipjack, that sort of thing. But
I get there's certain things that a spinning reel works better for.
It's better for.
And one of those things is bluegill and crappie fishing.
Panfish, you're going hard pass to beat a spinning reel.
If you're putting a bait caster of any kind on, you might get a 33 or something like that. But if you put a bait caster with 4 or 6 pound test line, you're going to be fighting that thing all the time. Every time the wind blows, it's going to be tangled up. And why would you do that?
Oh, yeah.
So there's just certain things that they work better for. And the quality of the new spinning reels have come up so much.
I love her. I love Missy Kennedy.
I love Missy to death. Yeah,
we're gonna have her on a show before long. Just think about that.
It was so great when she hopped in my live there on New Year's Eve and just
it was fun.
Lyle, that was awesome.
She is a great lady. But yeah,
Danny said he's going to start putting shrimp emojis around his comments because he knows Lyle will never miss them. But
that's probably right. But yeah,
we may have to make
these spinning reels come way up. They're way better than it was 30 or 40 years ago.
Oh yeah, they're.
JM says reels have a quiet bait runner compared to most bait casters, and that's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Wow,
Marcus using good reels.
Yeah,
Marcus using real good reels.
Yes, he is.
I love Okuma reels. I have not had a bad Okuma.
I only had.
I take that back. I've had one bad Okuma.
I had one. Yeah, and it wasn't the reel's fault. The one I had that was bad was my fault. I bought 2 smaller reels, and when you put an 8-ounce weight on it to cast it, you have to take your thumb and roll the spool backwards before you could disengage it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you run a 6-ounce or smaller on it, you can just push the button and give it a fling. But 8 ounces was the line, and you'd always have to. And I got aggravated at that, but it wasn't the reel's fault. I bought 2 smaller reel, not knowing their sizing when I was buying it. But yeah, I like Okuma reels too.
Oh, Okuma they make good stuff. They stand behind their stuff. I mean, I bought an Okuma Tundra combo spinning reel or spinning combo, and had some issues with the reel. And Okuma sent me the part. I mean, this was like 2 years after I'd bought this thing, and I sent them a message. They sent me the parts to fix it. It ended up not fixing it, but I did find a workaround for it that made it work. So
sounds good. Well, listen, guys, please say we end this show and let people get back to doing what they do. I've actually had a blast with you guys tonight, but then I do every Monday night. So except last week.
Always and for everybody.
Yep. I had flooring issues, and these guys done a bang-up job. I want to thank you guys for that. And please remember that Chad will be going on with the bait shop on Thursday night, followed by Mark and I with Panfish Nation. Josh, what do you got going on this week?
We're gonna have a pretty decent short tip Saturday coming out on Saturday, and probably also about midweek the first of the jig tie weekly jig tie video. It's going to be another short one. You're looking 3 to 5 minutes probably on that video, and we'll get that out there. Start do one of those a week, and it might not always be a crappie jig. We might mess with put together a bass jig or bluegill bug or who knows what. But a weekly lure making video. So we're going to have fun with
I
that.
can help you with that bluegill bug. I got that figured out.
You've got that one figured out.
I want to thank everybody for watching the show. Chad, you got any closing statements?
Nope. We'll see you guys on Thursday night. Season 3 starts on the bait shop.
There we go.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. See everybody next Monday.
Have a great week, y'all.